A bright sunny morning, and we find ourselves crossing the Dochula mountain pass. In the distance from here, we can see Pelela Pass and beyond, our destination, the district hospital of Trongsa district. Passing the imposing Wandiphata Zong, and after a steady climb across the Pelela Pass, we arrive at Trongsa. Trongsa district consists of 5 geogs with over 1,700 households. The east-west lateral highway passes through the district. The district has 1 hospital and 5 basic health units. Maternal and child healthcare services are delivered by 21 outreach clinics. About 93% of rural households are assumed to have access to piped drinking water supply. As though the deities of the land too are appeased about the magic. Yes, you heard me, the magic that is going to unlock locked smiles. The annual Trongsa Tsewang Long Life Blessing is also coincidentally taking place. While people from the neighboring districts queue for long life amidst laughter and smiles, a smaller group of parents wait in the hospital with their children, sullen, surrounded by tiny voices in loud pain. Yet, one feeling unites the people in the Wang and the people in the hospital as one. Hope. Most of the parents are already registered by their district hospitals. The rest either heard of this free magic show through the airwaves from the BBS and Kuzu radio stations or saw the announcement on the BBS TV channel.
TV da delen radio dus na labde wala delan koshina dela pa mekana jobe de pa doctor lutai wala delen na yus labde
माथि BBS भनौँ न उहाँदेखि सुनेर साथीहरूले भन्नु थाल्यो अनि त्यहाँदेखि गेलीफुल मेडिकल लाँदाखेरि डाक्टरले भन्यो माथि टोङसामा छ.
Still coming in terms with the surprise that life had in store for them, the parents expressed their fear and hopes from what is to happen.
알로 중국인이 보통 시합에 시아치디 간다 중지되지 않는 아니 비는디게 아치지 난고나 오버시합도 가디베 좋은가 생각 아니 비는 있으니
알로스다 시질 미조암 노단 디기 아니 같이 도시라 제베스로 데 로드 신 잡사통 데 시시잡 벤디기 데 로가네 메베라 아니 베시나데 남사메 로데 힐레라 데 아 가네 메베니에서 데 남사메 도니치야 마올라데
아니 좀디 마파 같이 만은 아니베 이메 데 마파 아니리 다다나바 슝카린 체디다 좀 doctor 가수메 오메 데 마치디다 좀 심플리메 데 아님지디 같이 프로블럼 미노세 아니베 노딜라 다수스
아빠를 잡다디 남섬에 동에 온이라 남섬에 가려온가 세대 양치벤 갱에리 미중가 세다 양치 시존이라 소반 성오 마신가데 배운가세 남섬에 사게 온이라 이를 때도 마파로 남섬에 계속 벤디기 디스 남섬에 가는 시간에 지혜 시긴다는 수가야 맞음을 아니보다 또 나한테 때도래 계속 남섬에 이세 하늘에 손달로 돼 다티서 미중 온노데 때 마파 로데 데 이래 나서 걸리지 마파 동이데 오멜라 남섬에 알로디 수첩 안에 보다 라야 동기지 남섬에 수첩 안에 오멜라
मैले चाहिँ सोच्दैछु अब हामी जस्तै राम्रै हुन्छ होला भन्ने आशा छ.
They are the magicians who have come to perform their once-a-year reality magic show. Actually, as you must have by now guessed, they are a medical team who have come to the country on the invitation of the Ministry of Health, funded by an international non-profit organization called Smile Train.
There are 2 kinds of medical aid, or really in this case surgical aid groups. One kind we talk about as a parachute team, and they drop from the sky. They gather people up, they take care of the people that come, and then they leave. And it's good for the people they take care of, but there's no follow-through. It doesn't help with the infrastructure. The second kind is the kind that we do, taking the Chinese proverb, and maybe you have a similar proverb in Bhutanese, that if a man is hungry, don't give him a fish, teach him to fish. And so we work in an environment where we can train local doctors, nurses, other kinds of healthcare personnel to make ourselves redundant. So the contract finally, and that's what the Bhutanese government wanted. And at some point, we will just come back now and then as visitors, so that Bhutan will be able to take care of itself, which we think is more important.
Smile Train, although widely known abroad, is known in Bhutan for what they do rather than who they are. For the lives that have been touched by the Smile Train, they are like one parent described them, gods in human form.
mapa rangi deni ko ja rolu pensim ke de rolu pemba ji ansum chi try be mi dil musla ami sem jab ju zemi dilu de kinju sem zero se dem chile lab ka oni musla.
The Smile Train is a charity focused on solving a single problem, cleft lip and cleft palate. Their mission is to provide cleft surgeries for free in developing nations and free cleft training for doctors and medical professionals. They have been operational for the past 10 years and so far have successfully treated over 500,000 patients. In total, Smile Train helps children in 75 of the world's poorest countries. Since providing close to 5,000 free surgeries in 2000, a year since its inception, over the years, growing in strength, Smile Train last year brought more than 90,000 smiles back. It was only in 2001 that the Smile Train entered Bhutanese lives. Over the past 9 years, they have been visiting annually, setting up camps in Paro, Pumthang, Mongar, and finally in Tongsa since 2005. Clefts are a major problem, especially in developing countries where the population is still ignorant of the fact that clefts can be repaired with a 45-minute surgery. Children born with clefts cannot speak or eat properly. They can't or aren't allowed to attend school or even hold a job. Cleft patients face a very difficult life with shame, pain, and heartache. Cleft lip and palate are facial and oral malformation that occurs very early in pregnancy. Clefting happens when there is not enough tissue in the mouth or lip area, and the tissue that is available does not join together properly. A cleft palate is a split or opening in the roof of the mouth.
I think it's something that you're born with and you live with, and if you don't have the opportunity to get it fixed, it's just part of life. And you see that more in this culture than you would in Canada. In Canada, it just wouldn't happen. You wouldn't go through life with a cleft lip or palate. It would get fixed as an infant.
Well, take the opportunity to have it fixed by our group. We have fantastic surgeons. They're extremely talented, and they want to help. So if you get the opportunity to come, I know it's a long journey for some, a lot of walking, bus, taxi, but I think it's worth it, and the child's life will be changed forever.
Most scientists believe that clefts are formed due to a combination of genetic and environmental factors. There appears a greater chance of clefting in a newborn if a sibling, parent, or relative has had the problem. The cause of cleft lip and palate is unknown, and the conditions cannot be prevented. The problems associated with cleft lip and palate are eating and drinking problems, ear infection and hearing loss, speech problems, and dental problems. Due to the number of oral health and medical problems associated with cleft lip and cleft palate, a team of doctors and other specialists performed the surgery. The team that arrived in the country is the team of 14 professionals. Along with their Bhutanese counterparts, they perform 8 to 9 surgeries and 12 surgeries at a maximum in a day. Their work begins at 7 to 7:30 in the morning. Overcoming setbacks and improvising every step of the way, they are able to begin surgery by 9 a.m. They don't break for lunch together. Not wasting time, they rotate amongst themselves, working round the clock till 6 and sometimes to even 7:30 in the evening. Dr. Jeffrey Marsh from St. Louis, Missouri in the US makes time for us.
The first thing to understand is that when a baby is forming in the womb, all of us go through a phase where our face is in 3 separate pieces. One piece comes down like that, 2 pieces come in like that. These ridges that we have here are the seams where those 3 pieces come together. So when a baby is born with a cleft, it isn't so much that something strange or weird has happened, it's just that the process of coming together didn't finish. So our job as surgeons is to finish what did not get finished in the womb. And this happens very early. It's within the first 5 to 6 weeks after conception, so it's very early in the pregnancy. Cleft-lip itself does not affect general health, meaning that if you have a cleft lip and you grow up, you can breathe, you can speak, you can hear. You may have trouble interacting socially because you look different. Cleft-palate, the roof of the mouth, has major problems about existence. So the infant that is born with the cleft-palate usually cannot breastfeed. So the mom has to figure out some other way to feed the baby. You cannot speak normally if you have a split in the roof of your mouth. And that's the main reason we operate on the palate. So we operate on the lip, so the person will look acceptable in society, will be able to go to school without teasing, get a job, find a partner, get married, whatever. For the palate, we fix that mainly so that the individual will be able to speak, again, get educated, get a job.
He is Ugen Tenzing and he is 20 years old. His wife Tashi Choden is 19. They are both from Mongar. He comes from Chali, while her village is Yadi. Their wedlock was one of love and not an arranged one. It's been a year since they both moved to Wandipada district, where Ugen works as a tailor. He acquired the skill of a tailor as an apprentice. Tashi Choden is a housewife. He expresses to us on how he felt when he first saw his child in Thimphu at the Jigme Doji Wangchuk National Referral Hospital.
ngari khatil namsim sim shi shuni na kosudang par di dizom bethenong na namsim sim chi namsim maga shuni deveda inu doctor disu namsim roram bede ya thimmingan namsim roram bede shuni deda ani alo ani zum yi namsim sim shi migo over step da namsim gani ken mithong silab de yale ngai khatuli nga ya thimmingan deda nga nimsum dila tora ma ke shuni la khana nganale wangdile ya thimbujo da di deveda yale nga over gachal alu ki shu silab da nga alu gazumi ga tawunu dira di shuni
His wife was uncomfortable to speak in front of the camera. Other parents share their experience and their hopes from the surgery.
And any the Kadimchi normal that is Jenzum Kadimchi 100% of almost at least 50 to 60% Kadimchi Hitsugamos. And Chamchi no stammes.
나는 라긴 나날에 된 니치 다 점수보 데 아치 데 카칠랍 숲지 로기동 하데 땐 숲지 와친 남선 펜도니메스 레오키.
Today, the 6th of October 2009, Ugen's son, Ugen Namdrel, who is 4 months old, along with Tashinobu, 1 year and 6 months, Sonam Puchi, 4 years 1 month, Karma Wangchuk, 9 months, Tsring Yangzom, 5 months, Tamchuzam, 9 months, are all going to celebrate their new birthday. And a new life awaits for the parents too. A normal life. Ugen Namdrel has been taken in for surgery along with 2 other patients. We tried speaking to Ugen, but he politely refused, and we can well understand why. Mrs. Sharon agreed to spare some time for us.
My observation would be, and again, many don't speak English, so it's through an interpreter, but I get the sense that there's a very Buddhist attitude toward it, which is that there is an acceptance of what is, and yet that does not mean that you don't take action. In other words, they still are willing to walk a day with a baby on their back and take a bus for 2 days to try and get help for their child. They don't just accept it and not do anything, but there's not a resistance that you see in the West. It's more. It feels like a more Buddhist acceptance of circumstances with action to try and change it.
Ugen agreed to be interviewed, but one can just imagine what must be going through his mind from his eyes.
저다 나라기 셈할 비어진디 난고는 저니 오버시 제반이 비어더디 아티징아 데오다 알로 카타레라 보통 샤니디 안 아티지 티나나 나는 난고나레 녹선도 하면서 몸이 주니
there's a very
As
Buddhist
Sharon pointed out,
attitude
one
for
can
it,
sense a
which
Bhutanese
is that
acceptance or a Buddhist acceptance of circumstances, while at the same time, as a parent shared with us,
This child was 11 months old, okay? In 11 months old child, we need to say pa pa pa, ta ta ta, ka ka ka, sound like that. But this child was never able to say. Everything was ah, e, like that. So we tell mother, see, you have to talk lots to child. Take the child in front of you. Make the sound because
post-surgery, a cleft lip and cleft palate patient has to work with a speech therapist to develop his language skill.
speech therapy is an umbrella term. We not only deal with children with cleft lip and palate, we deal children with mental retardation, hearing impaired, and other language disorders, and we also deal with adults who have stroke. Because of stroke, they must have lost language. So our presence here is to deal with children born with cleft lip and palate. When you have a hole in the mouth, it's very, you all know that it will be difficult for a child to speak. So we need to sensitize parents that, see, your child has got this. We need to work with your child for him or her to get her speech and language skills right. They may not understand why he may not speak, so we need to tell them because it's a first experience for them. They might have seen with a child who does not have a hand, who does not have a leg, or who might be blind. So they can associate what could be the loss because of the abnormality. Most often they don't understand, and cleft treatment is a long-standing treatment. At different stages we did different problems. So we sensitize parents on language development, how a normal child will develop language, and what they should look for in their child. Second, because of the deformity, if the deformity was not corrected at time, they may not be able to say sounds like T, D, L. So we need to tell them that, see, your child needs to speak. If he needs to speak, he needs to put all these sounds together and form a word and speak. Child may not be able to do that because of this problem. But this problem can be corrected with therapy. So post-surgery, we need to work with your child for him or her to get her speech right, so that her speech is clear for others and they can understand it better.
Ugen Namdrel surgery is complete and Tashi, the mother, has been called in to breastfeed. Ugen Tenzing waits outside the operation theatre. Devi Charan, a father of 8, has also brought his son all the way from Chokerling in Sarbang district. He spoke to us.
त्यतिखेर त अब घणे जन्मियो अब कस्तो होला भन्ने यो सोचियो अब सबैले भन्नु थाल्यो हस्पिटलमा लगेपछि अब राम्रो हुन्छ भन्नु थाल्यो अनि अब कोही भन्छ हैन सानोमा लगेर के रे अलि राम्रो हुँदैन ठुलो भएपछि सिलाउनु यस्तै भन्दै गरेर अनि अहिले त्यसो हुँदै हुँदै ठुलो भएर यति 9 सालको भयो.
In the midst of cries and sad faces, there is an overwhelming gratitude that parents feel for the medical team and especially for the government and the king.
Dr. Kichitsuda, Shunkarin Sidigidi, Tarinabadi, Achara, Mionadarin Busi Uchi, Dilek, Chanamra, so Lero Busuda, Chanamra, Karin Sidigidi, Neve, Achara, Alogi Sudisumda, Achara Pamsu, Roido, Hamot Samaope, David Kendigidi, Namasam Gaila, the Shunle, Namasam Karin Chase Shunina.
Mare Katuli de Shuni Sirura, dari namlo nitung gulu America le shachik de na umbe overship na ni alu de ani zunam namyam jima su kadin ka suru yishini
simi katun is labnila kaso jinga chira alu beru da ga beru da mo lang khongyan zum operation bejin de lan zum detok to mi detok to jin yani bebe shunglo de nga chira gelpolo karalo karin gasunam simi is labnila
당바랑 아치르기 슝 나다게 몰라다 나다게 이 구다티말레 텔레 도레로 치게 카블레 아메리카레 남스메 도람데 좀 세나미 들레데 세나 디게 마세다 아치르기 나레 다메 용다 안스기 멤버들 중소케 디스기 잡죠 안좀 세나밀레 데니 남스 가르 가서 폼이세 때다
once in a lullaby.
Smile Train believes in one charity, one problem, and one goal. The Bhutanese believe one nation, one people. As we gear up to reach our goal of gross national happiness with 4 pillars and a number of indicators, any man, woman, or child will agree that a smile is indeed an indication of happiness.
Wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and the dream that you dare to, oh why can't I? Well, I see trees of green and red roses too. I'll watch them bloom for me and